Big W for the Washington football team. YouTube, what's going on? It's Washington. YouTube, what's going on? It's juangottiwft here with yet another Washington football team video, and the Washington football team beat the Atlanta Falcons 34-30 in somewhat of a shootout, man. Oh, I'm so happy we got that win. The legend of Heinicke grows, literally, because, dude, man, I was going to come on here with a whole nother attitude if we lost this game. I was going to be so pissed. Man, it feels good that Washington got the win. Heinicke legit saved our season. With New York with a big win down in the Big Easy. And the Dallas Cowboys destroying the Carolina Panthers, even though they made it close towards the end. Cowboys really single-handedly destroyed the Carolina Panthers. Philly lost to the Chiefs, but even so, that was a big win by Washington because they are now one game out of first place. And then if we would have lost this game, the Giants would have been one game out of first place. So it was a huge win for the Washington football team. It wasn't pretty throughout the whole game. Matter of fact, injuries after injuries after injuries killed us today. Penalties killed us today. The reps were terrible in my opinion. It was a hard-fought game, and we came out on top, man. Taylor Heinicke, I love that guy, man. I love that guy. If you go back to my stream that I just finished wrapping up here, he drops back the pass, I would say, on the J.D. McKissic touchdown pass. I'm like, just run the ball. Just run the ball. And as my phone's blowing up here, don't mind that, but I'm like, run the ball. Just settle for D-Hop. I didn't want D-Hop out there because I was scared he was going to miss it again. They started showing replays of the Giants game where he missed, and then we didn't build this out with the penalty. I was so scared. I was like, just run the ball. D-Hop, it's in D-Hop hands again. Just run the ball. Just run the ball. He draws back the pass. He's looking. I'm like, no. And then he threw it. I'm like, no. And then you see J.D. McKissic wide open. I'm like, let's go, J.D. And he's to the sideline, and he dove. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, so much emotion all in one play here. And I'm glad Washington got the huge win in ATL. Now you go back, before we continue to talk about the video, or talk about the game, rather, you go home to face a pissed off New Orleans Saints team that I'm really scared of. At first, if they would have beat the Giants, I would have like, hey, we're going to win this game. And I still have us win this game, but I was like, hey, man, we're probably going to win this game because they're feeling themselves. They're riding high off of a win, but now they lost to the Giants in overtime, so now they're going to be pissed. So I kind of fear the Saints, but I still have a feeling that we're going to win that game. But back to the game. Now that we got the celebration part out the way, let's go. Let's talk about the notes. First of all, that Chase Young penalty, it was a bad call. That was a terrible call by the referees. It was just blatantly bad. And now let me not be naive to the call. I understand the call. You want to protect the quarterback, but you gotta look at it like this. He still had the ball in his hands. Chase Young is trying to shove him to either get the sack or force a bad pass or force an incompletion. And then, not only was he trying to do that, he shoved off of Chase Young's tackle, and then he threw the ball downfield for interception. So it's not like he even did it in a vicious way. His neck didn't even jerk back or anything. Matt Ryan shoved that off, so that was a terrible call in my opinion. Probably one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. The Torrey McTyer pass interference call I didn't like so much. Him and Calvin Ridley, they both were holding each other, and they were trying to, create separation for the cornerback to either deflect the ball or Calvin Ridley catch the ball. And I didn't like that call. They gave Calvin Ridley the pass interference call, where they gave Torrey McTyer the pass interference call, and they gave Atlanta an automatic first down. I didn't like that call either. Now let's get into our notes here. The Falcons drive all the way down on the opening drive and got 3. Defense looks bad. Landon Collins and Fuller looks lost, and they looked lost throughout the whole game. Yeah, Fuller made a big play at the end of the game with the pass deflection, but they really looked lost the whole game. The first play, the opening drive rather, the Falcons drove down and they got 3. Even though they didn't give up 6 right there, they still gave up 3, and they didn't look good at all to open up the game. Then you go down for Washington, opening drive. We get a first down for the first time of the season, so that was huge. And then also on that drive, or on the next drive rather, together. Great block by J.D. McKissic, and Taylor Heinicke, he slid a little too early and he came up 2nd and 2. But it was a great block by J.D. McKissic to allow Taylor Heinicke to slide up into the pocket and actually pick up a gain of 8. Then you move on to the next comment here that I wrote down, or next note. Washington goes for it on 4th and 1 and gets stuffed. Run play out of the gun. Yeah, I didn't like that play call. I liked us going for it, obviously, but if you want to run the ball, Scott Turner, you should have did it straight from under the center. You know what I'm saying? But you did it out of the gun and you surrendered it. You surrendered about 5 yards already with going out of the gun, and then he got stuffed. So I didn't like that call at all. You move on to the next note here that I wrote down. Bobby McCain, he went for the under route instead of taking the D route. Cordell Patterson wide open touchdown. Yeah. So about that play, I was pissed about that play. I was livid. You go back to my stream. I was outraged with that play because Bobby McCain, being an NFL safety, elect to take the underneath route. Mind you, it was already 3 white Washington jerseys right there for that route. So even if he probably catches it, he is immediately tackled down, or it's an incomplete pass. Bobby McCain tried to join in on that and made it 4 white jerseys instead of 3, and he left Cordell Patterson wide open over top. Now I didn't see Matt Ryan give him no little shoulder pump fake or anything to make him want to go downhill to go to the underneath route. I didn't see none of that. I just think Bobby McCain made a bad decision on that play, and wide open Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson killed us in this game, man. Dude had 3 touchdowns. Matt Ryan had 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. So Cordell Patterson completely killed us in this game. So moving on to my next play here, not a good way to close out the half for the defense. Torrey McTyer gets a pass interference call that would have gave Washington the ball back with about a minute and some change left in 2 timeouts. So yeah, I was going to talk about the penalty on Torrey McTyer. I didn't really like it. Did I understand it? Yeah, I did, but I didn't really like that call, man. The refs, like I said, they were iffy all game long, and I was going to say this initially. I felt like Ron was going to be conservative and not try to get the ball back for Washington, but it didn't matter at the end of the day because they picked up the first down and they drove down and got a touchdown right before half. So that really didn't matter too much, but it's not a good call in my opinion by the referees once again. Then you go down to Dustin Hopkins. I have a whole segment for Dustin Hopkins here. He missed the PAT that would have put Washington up or had Washington trail 17-14. Now we trail 17-13. Then again, he missed another one after we scored a touchdown, and it put us up 19-17 instead of 20-17. And Dustin Hopkins killing us, man. And a lot of people were saying if he's not gone by tomorrow, I would question Ron's decision making. You know what I'm saying? And that's totally true. I agree with everybody's frustration. You know what I'm saying? Dustin Hopkins has almost cost us the game again. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have faith with him hitting the field goal, with him trotting on the field. So I'm glad at the end of the game. So I'm glad Taylor Heinicke got us the touchdown, him and J.D. McKissic. So, yeah, like I said, Hopkins missed the field goal, and it really is pissing me off. But again, we got to look at it like this. Who is out there right now that can kick field goals at this current juncture? Nobody. As much as D-Hop has been terrible, we don't have anybody out there right now. At least I don't know anybody out there right now on the free agent block or anything that we're going to bring anybody in. Man, go out there and get destroying or something, man. But we got to bring in some type of competition for Dustin Hopkins, something, man, because the dude has been terrible. But what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? There's nobody else we can go out and get at this current juncture. So moving on here, the big play, before that, Cordell Patterson caught another touchdown. He was working against, I want to say, was it Torrey McTyer? Could have been Kendall Fuller, but I want to say Torrey McTyer, and he ran like a fade route. Matt Ryan, beautiful back shoulder pass, touchdown. Cordell Patterson killed us again. But moving on, DeAndre Carter with a 101-yard kick return. I told you guys it was a matter of time before he broke one. I've been saying that since the preseason, man. The dude has been getting 25, 20, 30, even 40-yard returns, and I was like, it's a matter of time before he returns one, and he made the Falcons pay 101 yards deep in his own end zone, and he takes it all the way to the house. DeAndre Carter had a big catch on that drive that eventually won Washington the game too. So shout out to DeAndre Carter for stepping up big. Hayden Hurst with a fumble that wasn't called a fumble. This play killed me, because how was that not a fumble? He caught the ball, he made a football move, and Cole Holcomb just stripped him. He stripped him, and the refs, I guess they said he had forward progress, and they blew the play dead. I don't know what they said happened on there, because I had the TV muted at the time. And they basically, I'm assuming they're saying he had forward progress, and they blew the play dead. It was a terrible call by the refs again. I felt like he caught the ball, he made a football move. Cole Holcomb, he obviously didn't hear no whistle. Cole Holcomb tackled him, or Jamin Davis tackled him rather, and Cole Holcomb forced the ball loose. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that call by the referees. Once again, a terrible day for the refs in my opinion. Then you move on to the next note here. Cordell Patterson with another touchdown. William Jackson pass interference. I didn't agree with William Jackson pass interference call either, man. I felt like he was right there working against Calvin Ridley, and they just called him for pass interference. He even turned his head back like this. The ball wasn't catchable at all, and they called him for pass interference. I didn't like that call either, but that led to a Cordell Patterson 3-yard or third touchdown of the game. By the way, that Hayden Hurst fumble that would have called that they should have called a fumble, and then after that they got a PI. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that call either. Moving on to the next play. Great block from for a screen by Brandon Sheriff. Brandon Sheriff made a phenomenal block for AG, man. He literally came out on the block. He was out in front, and then he flew out in front, like literally flew, like dove, and he blocked the guy that was trying to get Antonio Gibson. And Antonio Gibson got about, I want to say, if he didn't get the first down, he got close to the first down marker. So great block by Brandon Sheriff. And then we move on to the next note here. It went from a Matt Ryan interception to a Chase Young flag front tour, or actually a Matt Ryan sack to a Bobby McCain interception to a Chase Young flag. And we already talked about that, but I didn't like the call, man. I felt like it was sissy of a call. I felt like this league was being too soft. Moment right there. That wasn't a flag in my opinion, and they went down, and I believe they scored on that drive too. Mike Davis touchdown. Washington missed 4 opportunities to make a tackle. John Bostic was the first guy to miss it. Yep, that was my next comment there, or my next note after the game. We had opportunities to tackle, and we didn't. Once again, the defense did not look good. I know we won 34-30, but the defense did not look good. They had spurts where they did look good, like Montez Sweat on that pitch play. He blew it up. And we had spurts where we looked solid, but once again, the defense as a unit looked good. And I said this, and I'll own up to my own words. I don't care if I get any backlash for it. I have to own up to it. I said if we give up 30 points to the Falcons, this defense is officially trash, and I'm starting to question that. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to believe it, and I still want to have faith that they'll turn it around, but we gave up 30 points to the Atlanta Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Calvin really did us in, and Matt Ryan did us in. 5 touchdowns. Cordell Patterson killed us. So I'm starting to question the defense. I already was questioning the defense, I should say, but I'm starting to think, hey, man, this defense, it's bad, it's bad. We gave up 30 to the Falcons, and it's not getting any easier from here. We have the Saints coming up, then we have the Chiefs, and then we have, I want to say, the Broncos. They're coming out of the bye. I want to say we have either the, I want to say it's the Bucks coming out of the bye, but I want to say it's the Saints, the Chiefs, the Broncos, then it's the Packers, then it's the bye, then it's Tampa Bay. So it gets no easier for this defense from here, man. This was probably the last easy game, and quote-unquote easy. I don't want to say it was really easy, because obviously it's not. Matt Ryan, the elite quarterback, this was the last, I guess I want to say, defense or offense that we could really, I guess, compete with. I want to say the word that I'm looking for, and we didn't do a good job at that. We allowed 30 points, but we got the win. Moving on to Terry McLaurin. As you see, I have on his Cathedral High School 25 jersey here. The guy's a stud, man. The guy's a stud. I know he had a drop that they reviewed for fun, but I don't want to talk about that. The first touchdown of the game, Terry McLaurin, of the deep fade or a deep ball by Taylor Heinicke along the sidelines. He called for a touchdown, and then he came back. Taylor Heinicke, he scrambles, he's looking, and then I'm like, no, because I thought thought he was just forcing it. It looked like Taylor Heinicke was trying to throw the ball out the back of the end zone, and he didn't do that. He just threw it up there, and Terry McLaurin rather, he came back. He was fighting against the DB. He got off of the DB and caught the touchdown, man. Terry McLaurin is just so good. He's unreal, man. But those are all my notes I have here, and we'll talk more about this game in nauseam throughout the whole week because there's a ton of things. This is just my initial reaction. This isn't no deep dive into the film, into the highlights or anything. This is my initial reaction off the top of my head, and Washington got the win. This is my, like I said, in the heat of the moment reaction, and I'm glad Washington got the win. But it's unfortunate that we have a ton of injuries. Logan Thomas went down early. Brandon Sheriff went down. Terry McLaurin even went down, but he came back. Antonio Gibson got hurt. Cam Sims got hurt. We had a ton of injuries. Torrey McTyer got hurt in the last play of the game. He was grabbing his knee. So we have a ton of injuries, man. And hopefully they're not really too serious. But Logan Thomas with that hamstring, it scares me. So we should be preparing to see a ton of Ricky Seals-Jones. Ricky Seals-Jones, before I get out of here, gotta talk about Ricky Seals-Jones, man. You gotta catch those balls, man. Were they perfect balls? No, they weren't. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you Logan Thomas makes those catches. But I'm gonna talk about this game in nauseam throughout the whole week. This again is just my initial reaction. So if I missed a lot of things, sorry about that. This is just again my initial reaction. So yeah, man, it's me, boy Juangottiwft. Like, comment, subscribe. Help to the Washington football team. A huge win for the Washington football team as they improved to 2-2, and now they are set to host the New Orleans Saints in Week 5 at home. Let's go, man. Help to the Washington football team. Like, comment, subscribe. It's me, boy Juangottiwft. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you pop, get you drop. Slide on the one where they get you pop.